Vegas warned us. Vegas was right. Texas A&M goes into Columbia and gets upset by the Gamecocks. Not only upset by Beamer and the boys, they got beat down.
People should have been surprised, Matt, because you've lived there. You know how ferocious that stadium can be, especially at night. But that South Carolina team should have beaten LSU and came within a whisker of being Alabama. I mean, they were due, and Shane Beamer has that game in him every year. If he had about 5 or 6 like that, they'd be in the CFP. Uh, but yeah, Texas A&M just felt a little bit thin. I mean, they were getting by on a lot of things. So not a big surprise there. But it was indicative of the league though, and suddenly you're looking around and thinking about games. I was thinking about this earlier, like what are the games that matter the most now? And the fact that the final day of the season we thought it would be Texas at Texas A&M, it still will be important.
Sure.
Tennessee going to Vanderbilt might be a game that determines a college football playoff berth. That's how crazy this situation is right now.
Yeah, and look, Texas A&M still, this is going to sound so stupid and cliche, and I can't believe we're saying it on a YouTube show, but Texas A&M still has everything in front of them. But to your point, it was kind of like the Mike Elko story is still great, what he's done in year one based on the expectations when he came there, which were none because of what happened in the prior regime. But the fact that he still has them in position, but you kind of just felt at some point it would fall out a little bit because I'll say this as kindly as I can. They were at the top of the SEC standings. I don't think anyone looked at them and was like, that's the best team in the SEC. Do I have that right?
Yeah, and by the way, I mean I think they're going to exit pretty quickly here because I mean they have a trip. Well, by the way, every time I'm about to say a schedule, I start to laugh. They have a road game at Auburn. Let me cue up the band for the laughter. But it's down to the Texas game. Everyone's going to have these eliminator games, Matt.
Sure.
And to me, that's really what the story is. I mean, we're going to get hung up on Tuesday night with whatever the CFP says, just like up and down the dial, they're going to be pointing at 7 battleground states. I am. It's not like I'm not going to pay attention, but I'm really not going to pay that much attention because these games are going to speak. I mean, next weekend we got 3 SEC teams that are on the brink in 2 showcase games. Ole Miss loses, they're gone. Loser of Alabama, LSU, they're gone. Now you have Texas A&M on the brink every time it plays. So that's really what is important, not what this committee chairman comes out and talks about, whether Penn State's win over Illinois trumps Georgia's win at Texas and Alabama's win against Georgia. I mean, we'll let them talk, but guys like us are going to tell people what's really happening.
Yeah, Ward Manuel, he's the committee chair, obviously the AD at Michigan, which will be interesting because the Michigan-Notre Dame history, Notre Dame's going to factor into a lot of this. We'll get to them later.
No conflict for him this year.
At all. Yeah, no, they're 5-4 is Michigan. There will be a new national champion.